So, have you ever really paused, I mean, properly paused, to think about how language actually started?
It's a huge question, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, was it just sounds evolving kind of randomly over ages and ages? Or could there have been something, I don't know, more structured, maybe even scientific behind it all?
Well, the standard view, the one most of us probably learned, is that words are mostly arbitrary signs, just labels we all sort of agreed on.
Right, like dog doesn't inherently sound like a dog.
Exactly. But today, we're diving into something quite different, a theory that flips that idea on its head. It's called the Odom-Tilly theory.
Okay, Odom Tilly. And you said it's radical.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
It proposes something pretty dramatic, that words aren't arbitrary at all, that they're actually mathematical, logical, scientifically encoded.
Whoa, okay. Mathematical. How does that even work for language?
Well, that's what we're going to unpack. The core claim, you see, is that language wasn't this accidental thing. It was systematically created.
Created.
By who? By ancient Turkic scientists, according to the theory. Or possibly by one central figure they call Adam, or Odem in the Turkic context. Think of him, or them, as the first linguistic mathematician.
A linguistic mathematician.
Yeah.
Okay, my interest is definitely piqued. This sounds like a
Yeah.
whole forgotten way of thinking about language.
That's exactly what the theory calls it, a forgotten science.
All right, let's get into this then. Our mission for this deep dive. We're going to trace this idea from, say, early gestures right through to complex spoken language,
Yeah, and look at the supposed mathematical rules behind it.
and hopefully uncover this hidden unity the theory talks about across different languages. Sounds like we might have a few aha moments ahead.
Hopefully.
So where do we start? Back in the early days.
Right. Let's picture what the theory calls the age of motion. This is way back when early humans are communicating mostly with, finger gestures, body language.
Okay, so pointing, miming, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Pointing if you're hungry, maybe acting out a dangerous animal nearby. It worked, for immediate needs, face-to-face stuff, basic survival cooperation, what you might call IU interactions.
Makes sense. Pretty direct.
Very direct. But, and this is the crucial bit, it had serious limitations.
Like what?
Well, abstraction was really, really hard. How do you mime he or they, clearly? Or concepts like God or eternity, or even complex ideas about right and wrong. It's tough.
Yeah, I can see that. Gestures are very concrete.
Exactly. And maybe the biggest practical problem, it tied communication completely to having your hands free.
Ah, okay. I see where this might be going. But if your hands are busy.
Precisely. And that leads to what the theory identifies as the big turning point, the crisis of gesture in war.
War. Okay. How does that fit in?
Think about ancient Turkic warriors. They're in battle. Their hands are full swords, axes, bows, shields.
Right. No free hands for gesturing.
None. Their
Yeah.
main communication channel is just
Okay.
gone, blocked. And in a battle, communication is vital, right? It's life or death.
Absolutely. You need to coordinate, warn people.
So this wasn't just like an inconvenience. The theory frames it as an existential barrier, a massive problem that demanded a solution urgently. They needed a new way to communicate, an acoustic canal.
So sound. Speech.
Speech. It was, as the theory puts it, a civilizational necessity. They had to invent it, basically. It wasn't just a neat tech upgrade. It was survival.
Wow. So it wasn't gradual, but driven by this crisis.
That's the idea. And this necessity led to what's called the conversion project.
Conversion project. Sounds serious.
It was meant to be a deliberate, systematic, scientific effort. The Turkic scientific community, or this Adam Odem figure, supposedly sat down and translated every meaningful finger and body motion into a specific sound unit.
Every single one.
That's the claim. Each sound wasn't random. It carried a fixed symbolic meaning that mirrored the gesture it was replacing.
So the sound for, say, stop would somehow echo the hand gesture for stop.
In essence, yes. Though maybe more fundamentally based on the sort of physics or motion involved. And then these sound units were organized systematically, like into a mathematical alphabet.
Okay, this is where the math comes back in.
This is where it really kicks in.
It's like they were archiving the gestures, saving them in a new format.
That's a great analogy. Think about transferring old home videos from those fragile VHS tapes onto, say, digital files or DVDs.
Okay, yeah.
The content, the actual movements, the meaning stays the same, but the medium changes. It goes from physical motion to acoustic vibration. It preserves the meaning, but makes it, well, more durable and usable, especially when hands are tied.
So the sounds contain the ghost of the original gesture.
Kind of, yeah. Or the mathematical essence of it. This wasn't just making noises. The theory argues it was deep linguistic algebra.
Linguistic algebra. Okay, break that down for me.
Well, sounds were apparently assigned specific mathematical values, like positive, negative, or maybe neutral.
Positive and negative sounds.
Yeah. Okay, so think about sounds like B-R-A. The theory links these to positive concepts: building, rising, outward action, creation. Maybe the physical act of making a B sound, that outward puff of air.
Right, I can sort of feel that, like an expansion.
Exactly. Then you have negative sounds, maybe K, V, P, N. These are linked to opposite ideas: cutting, stopping, bending down, negation, descent. Think of the sharp K sound, like a cut or a stop.
Okay, K for cutting, B for building.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see a pattern.
And then there are neutral or maybe transitional sounds, like Q for a pause or a break. H may be linked to breath or the hand itself. L for a line or extension, connection.
So every sound had a job, a value.
A specific mathematical and symbolic value rooted in the real-world motion or concept it replaced.
Which means words. They aren't just labels. They're like sound equations.
That's a perfect way to put it. Equations in sound. Combinations of these positive, negative, and neutral values that logically build up to create a precise meaning.
So language, in this view, was designed mathematically, not just
Yeah.
happened.
Designed. Engineered, almost. That's the core argument.
Okay, I need an example, a really clear one. How does this algebra work in practice?
Good idea. Let's take something universal, like the act of saying thank you. What's the core gesture there, usually?
Well, bowing, maybe, or lowering your head, a sign of respect, humility.
Exactly. Bowing the vertical body down. That's the core gesture the theory starts with for thankfulness. Now, let's see how this single idea, this gesture, gets encoded using these sound math principles in different languages.
Okay, let's do it. Where should we start? English.
Sure, English, think. Let's break it down using the theory's values. That sound involves the tongue, vertical almost, against the teeth. It represents the vertical standing body.
Okay, the body itself.
Then an, signifying presence, the body being in that space, an entity.
Right.
And then K. What value did we say K has?
Negative, like cutting or lowering.
Precisely. Negative downward motion, bending. So the vertical body present, bending downward, expressing gratitude through that lowering, that humility.
Wow. Okay, it maps directly onto the bowing idea.
That's the claim. Now let's try Uzbek. Rahmat.
Rahmat. Different sounds entirely.
Seemingly, but let's apply the algebra. R, remember, often linked to action, doing.
Right, positive action.
Maybe related to hands or on the hands. Ma, often linked to giving, offering a meaty motion. And T, similar to teat, representing verticality, body height.
So, action on hands, giving, vertical body.
Put it together, it suggests an action of offering oneself, offering one's vertical stature, thankfulness as a giving of oneself, again, linked to that core idea of lowering or offering the self.
Huh. Surprisingly consistent in meaning, even with different sounds. Okay, give me another one.
How about Russian? Spasibo.
Spasibo, okay.
S often represents a curving, bending shape, like a snake.
Bending, okay, connecting to bowing again.
Pa, meaning upon that space or surface.
Yeah.
I, again, the vertical standing body, like the letter I.
Right.
Then another S, repeating the curving, the bowing action.
Emphasizing it.
And bow, which can relate to becoming like water flowing, moving downward naturally.
Bending upon space. The vertical body. Bending again. Flowing down.
It paints a picture, doesn't it? Curving the vertical body downward, flowing down like water. A very vivid image of bowing and thanks.
It really does. Okay, one more. German.
German, Danke. This one's quite nice. Dan, meaning that vertical body or that entity.
Similar to the thean and thing.
Very possibly related, yeah.
Okay.
Then K.
Negative again. Lowering, bend down.
Exactly. Lowering that vertical body. And the final E often just indicates a general downward or outward motion.
So danky.
Yeah.
That body bent downward.
Yeah.
Simple, direct.
Just like thank. It's the same core concept. Body bent downward in gratitude.
This is actually pretty amazing. Thank, Rahmat, Spasibo, Danke. It sounds so different.
Totally different on the surface.
But underneath, using this Odam-Tilly theory, this linguistic algebra, they're all encoding the same fundamental gesture, the same idea.
That's the core revelation here. One gesture, one concept, one original word, just expressed using slightly different combinations of these foundational sound units. The differences are just variations in the algebraic encoding.
Like writing the same mathematical equation, but maybe using different symbols for the variables.
That's a perfect analogy. It shows how language, in this view, operates just like math. You have a small set of basic symbols, the sound units with their values.
Like the digits 0 to 9.
Exactly. And from those few symbols, combined according to logical rules, you can generate infinite variations, infinite meanings, infinite numbers from 10 digits, infinite words from a core set of sounds.
So this Adam, or Odam, he wasn't just making up sounds. He was like a master mathematician laying down the fundamental axioms of language.
That's how the theory portrays him, yes. Not just a religious figure from scripture, but the first linguistic mathematician. The scientist, the engineer who figured out how to systematically translate motion into sound.
And doing that, it wasn't just about communication in war, was it? It had bigger implications.
Oh, huge implications. His work, this conversion, ensured that human meaning could survive beyond the immediate gesture. It allowed thought to expand into abstract realms. Suddenly you could talk about he or they or history or the future or God.
It's like, well, language became our first hard drive, our first way to really store and transmit complex ideas across time and space.
I love that, the earliest act of archival technology. Because gestures, like you said, are ephemeral. They disappear, like old tapes degrading.
But acoustic language that can be repeated, recorded, passed down, it's like the CD or the digital file for human thought.
The eternal record.
Yeah.
And the theory suggests that even today, every word we speak still carries these echoes, these motion shadows of the original gestures encoded in their sound structure.
Motion shadows, I like that. So this leads to a bigger picture of what language is.
It does. The Odam-Tilly theory proposes what it calls the triple nature of language. It's not just one thing.
Okay, triple nature. What are the three?
First, it's scientific. It encodes real-world motions, observable truths. It's tied to the physics of action.
Right, the gesture connection.
Second, it's mathematical. It follows these strict algebraic rules, polarity, positive, negative, pauses, combinations. It's logical.
The equations in sound.
And third, and this is quite profound, it's seen as religious.
Religious, how so?
Because by enabling abstract thought, by allowing humans to conceive of and discuss things beyond the physical here and now, like eternity, morality, God language itself became the first revelation, the first scripture, you might say, the tool that gave access to the divine.
Wow. Science, math, and religion.
Yeah.
All wrapped up in the very fabric of language.
All unified, according to this perspective.
So if we take this theory seriously, what does it mean for us today, looking at all the different languages in the world?
Well, it suggests something radical, that this apparent diversity, all these thousands of languages, they might just be surface variations.
Different dialects of the same fundamental language.
Exactly. All potentially stemming from one source. Adam's original Turkic acoustic algebra. It implies a deep, underlying unity to all human communication. We're all speaking variations of one original mathematically designed language.
That's a huge thought. It kind of changes how you think about foreign languages, doesn't it?
It really does.
What a journey we've taken. From, that desperate need on the battlefield.
Yeah, the crisis of gesture.
To this idea of mathematical genius forging acoustic language, and then finding this potential unity under words like thank, Rahmat, Spasibo, Danke. It definitely challenges the way I thought language worked.
Me too. It's a profound perspective. Language born from necessity, yes, but also from logic, from mathematics, and maybe even from a deeper human yearning to grasp things beyond the immediate, things like eternity.
Making it our first science, first math, and first religion, all in one package.
Unified. It's quite a concept.
So for everyone listening, knowing this theory, this idea that all words might fundamentally be one, echoes of ancient gestures encoded using math. How could that change how you hear language every day?
Yeah, maybe the next time you say thank you or you hear someone say danke or spasibo.
You might listen a bit differently. Listen for those hidden motion shadows the theory talks about. Consider the possibility of that ancient scientific, mathematical, even spiritual blueprint humming away just beneath the surface of the sounds we make every single day. Makes you think, doesn't it?